What is going on, guys? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and we are 1 week into using Disney Plus as an app and a streaming service, so we wanted to do a video that talked about whether we thought Disney Plus was worth it for your subscription. Before we go into the conversation on Disney Plus and all of the content that's made available through it, do me a favor, go down and hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. We're talking about Disney Plus and all of their content all the time here on CinemaBlend's YouTube page. We want to make sure that you guys pay attention to every single video that we post. Okay, so after playing around with the Disney Plus service for a week, I found that there isn't a ton of variety yet, but I think that more original programming is coming. Obviously, Disney has opened up a significant portion of their vault, and a lot of people have been having a lot of fun going back through and finding bizarre titles from the classic Disney catalog to stream, and it's been fun to see on social media also what movies people are starting with. We knew we were going to get a lot of Disney and Pixar and Star Wars and Marvel, but after you've surfed through a lot of movies that you probably owned in some other format already, I started to realize that the original content that we think we're going to get later on with Disney Plus just isn't quite there yet. High School Musical, yes. The Encore show that Kristen Bell is hosting is there also. A lot of shorts and making of features that you can burn through pretty quickly for things like Avengers Endgame or some of the more recent Pixar animated films, but not a ton of variety just yet. So I didn't see the way that when you log into Netflix, you have a wide variety of new original programs, whether they be movies or television shows, to get into, in addition to all of their archived content and older shows. It's going to take a little while for Disney Plus to catch up with some of the other streaming services that have been going for a while, but I think once we finally get there, it's going to really make the value of this service go through the roof. That said, I will say that one of the strong points of Disney Plus right off the bat is the fact that all of your Marvel and Star Wars content is available on one streaming service in one house for you to just click on whenever you want to watch. And me, as a fan of both of those franchises, this was a huge selling point. I love to just be able to throw up the Disney Plus front screen and go right to the Marvel tab or the Star Wars tab, depending on what I'm in the mood for, and then finding something smaller in the subgenres there to figure out which one I'm going to watch, whether it's a Marvel feature film or an animated Star Wars television series that I haven't seen in a really long time. It's nice to have all that content there. Personally, that was the type of content that I was constantly taking off of my DVD shelf and going back to rewatch. These are the movies that I want to revisit on the regular, and the ease of being able to just sort of go back in and pull those up immediately on Disney Plus means that the service is more valuable to me as a fan of those tentpoles. And that's basically what Disney wanted when they took over both Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm. They were building to the point where they would amass a streaming library that would have those titles available. That being said, yes, they do have a Marvel section, but we're still waiting for some of those cracks to be filled in. They don't have the Spider-Man movies that are part of the MCU, for example, because as you probably know by now, there's a deal between Sony and Marvel that they're negotiating about where Tom Holland can be used and what's actually part of the MCU. Those Spider-Man movies exist on their own. So if you go to the Marvel tab, you'll see some animated Spider-Man shows, a lot of ones that we grew up on, but you're never going to see Far From Home or Spider-Man Homecoming fall under that. Well, I won't say never. I guess they could show up at some point as those guys negotiate, but for right now, you don't see the Spider-Man movies there. Over on the Fox side, too, we're starting to figure out how Disney Plus is negotiating which Fox titles show up, because some of the major tentpoles are not there. That includes the X-Men movies, which you would think would fall underneath the Marvel Studios tab, but they're, I guess, still up to some sort of licensing negotiation about which studio properly owns them or when they're going to land there. You can go to the Marvel Studios tab and watch old X-Men cartoons, but the X-Men movies as we know them are not there just yet. However, something like Avatar is there, so if you happen to be a die-hard 20th Century Fox fan, we're still waiting to see where those chips are going to fall with regards to Disney Plus. Let's talk about Star Wars. This is the other major acquisition by Disney that was going to boost their streaming service, and they are off to a very strong start. The Mandalorian alone is reason to subscribe to Disney Plus. This is one of the originals that we're waiting for other brands to come around with, but Star Wars led off with their first original series with a lot of marketing hype going into it, and it delivered in the first 2 episodes we've been able to see so far. It's a original series that isn't based on any characters that we've been holding on to from the original trilogy. It follows a bounty hunter known as the Mandalorian. We're starting to find a little bit about him as we go through his story and this adventure that he's going on. It does have a Clint Eastwood Man with No Name Western feel to it, but it's also geared into everything that we love about Star Wars, which is the ability to sell toys. And with that, we have Baby Yoda as a brand new character who is the bounty that is being protected by the Mandalorian through the course of these 2 episodes. Hopefully there'll be one underneath every Christmas tree this season coming up, and of course we want to see where the rest of this show is going to go. So the Mandalorian has hooked me as a diehard Star Wars fan, and I'm sure that it's bringing a lot of people over to Disney Plus to find out where this first season of the Mandalorian is going to go. Did I mention Baby Yoda? Let's talk about Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is so adorable. Disney Plus, if maybe you're watching this video and you want to send me a Baby Yoda, I'm not going to complain at all. You can look at my email address and just send me a message and maybe put Baby Yoda into a little box so that he can come to my house and hang out with me for the holiday season. I don't know if I've mentioned yet how cool Baby Yoda is, so get with Baby Yoda, hashtag Baby Yoda on social media. Go find out what's going on with Baby Yoda. Basically, we're all in on Baby Yoda here at CinemaBlend.
Yeah? Good.
Considering that this video is called Is Disney Plus Worth It? I want to talk about the cost, because I think it's really great that they're keeping it around $7 a month. With all of these new streaming services that are launching, the big question is how many of these can we afford, especially for a lot of us that have cut cable. I think for the content that's made available, $7 a month is a really decent price point for what you're getting through Disney Plus. Just the ability to have a lot of these titles, to have them under one house is convenient enough to make me think that $7 is worth it. The ability to get the Mandalorian alone makes that $7 price point per month worth it for me. But what's coming with the original Marvel shows that I know I'm going to be invested in, with more original Disney movies, things like Lady and the Tramp that might have gone to the theater before, bringing that underneath the Disney Plus streaming service label is worth it for the price point. So I understand that everybody's sort of going to wrestle with how many more streaming services can I add, but for what Disney Plus is giving us and for the price that they're asking, I do think that it's worth it right now. Final point is just ease of use for the app, and that's something pretty significant when a company is launching a new streaming service. A lot of times it can be pretty glitchy, the menus might freak out on you, and while Disney Plus definitely had a rocky start for its first day, as all of these new consumers tried to overwhelm the service, I haven't had any real issues with it from day 2 on, and it is great to sort of hop on there and just be able to bounce in and out of old movies that you love, new television shows you want to try out. The app has been glorious as far as I'm concerned, so yeah, I'm excited to see where Disney Plus can go from this point on. In conclusion, I would say that the Disney Plus subscription service so far is really, really worth it. The amount of content that's available immediately at your fingertips is pretty vast, even though I'm waiting for even more originals to show up, and you know that you're sort of investing in the long-term future of what Disney and Marvel and Star Wars are going to bring to the service. The app is super easy to use and it's affordable so far, and I think that the future is really, really bright in terms of the number of projects that Disney is going to bring in a lot of the brands that you love. What do you guys think, though? Has it been working the way that you want it to go? Are you even subscribing to it? Go down to the comment section and let me know where you are with Disney Plus, whether you're on board and loving it or holding off for later on when a few more things that you want to see are dropping. And while you're down there, do me a favor and hit subscribe and turn on your notifications, because whenever we post a video like this on our YouTube page, we want you guys to come and watch it right away.